summary what we were doing this week.
Yeah, why don't you start?
Okay. Yeah, okay. Then I will start. So basically, the most important job for us was to implement support for our protocol on the Rarible.com website. So currently, we have some environments for the different test networks. So it's Ropsten and Rinkiby, and we are currently testing it on Ropsten. So something already works, something fails. So yeah, just debugging currently. So it was our top priority for this week. But yeah, that's not all. Also, we were busy implementing contracts for staking. Also, we were improving our token contracts. Today, I upgraded them on Rinkiby network, so the addresses are the same as before, because yeah, they're upgradable. Also, we were focused on fixing bugs, and we started implementing end-to-end tests. So by this, we try to make the quality of the protocol to make a new level for the quality, because I know currently it's not perfect, and yeah, we're working on it. Also, on the next week, we will try to make documentation much better, and also we will open source end-to-end tests. So there will be full working example of how to create and fetch anything from the protocol. So basically, it will cover creating NFTs, creating lazy minted NFTs, putting them on sale, adding unlockable content, unlock this content. So everything that is working on the protocol will be there. Currently, there are some tests written, but yeah, I think next week we will have some, maybe not full, but at least some finished part that we will put on GitHub. So also next week, I don't know if we manage to do this, but we will go. We try to improve documentation by going documentation first. What it means? It means that do you know about OpenAPI documentation, Swagger, something like this? Yeah. So I think it will go OpenAPI first. It means that we will write all our APIs and models first. They will go in OpenAPI form. Then we will generate clients and server stubs for this documentation. So this means that API reference will be always working one. Yeah. So and I think it will be good for you to use. Also, this test that I am talking about, they will use generated clients. So we'll generate clients for the protocol and use them in our tests. So it will we will be sure that it's 100% working. So I think that's it. Also, we were also I told on Discord last Friday, I think that we will be doing activity endpoint, and it's almost ready. Yesterday we finalized the interface for these calls, and currently they're almost finished, but not yet. So we will finish it and put them in OpenAPI documentation too. So it means that you will be able to fetch any activity. So you can fetch activity by user, by collection, by NFT. Basically, there are four filters, and you can, for example, fetch transfers, buys, when user bids, when he gets a bid, and so on. So any event that comes that we see in the blockchain or while user creates an order will be there. Also, maybe I would like to ask you a question. Do you want to get live updates about changing state? For example, Rarible.com uses WebSockets for live updates about changing any state. So, for example, when user buys an NFT, it automatically changes this circle with an owner and so on. So when it transfers, it did you see this flashing transferring or purchasing status that something is executed right now? So basically, we can give you live stream of events that are going in the blockchain and in the in our database. So I think it will be possible to give you this by WebSockets too. Maybe someone has some thoughts about this. So if you have, let me know. But currently, I think it will do this using WebSockets. Maybe a few weeks later. Okay, so if you need this, let me know and let us think how to do it better. Okay.
So coming from
yeah, I think something like that would be awesome. I would really love to go into that.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. That would be super helpful. Great idea.
Yeah. Okay, then I think that's it. That we were busy. I think I maybe have to say sorry about the documentation that we have right now and all this stuff with these examples and so on, but we are working on it and we are busy with the integration stuff for Rarible.com.
So very helpful, and yeah, you basically preemptively answered all my questions, so thank you.
Okay.
For the events, did you say you already have a way to do that now that's not with WebSockets?
No, we have this, but we have this on Rarible.com, so it's not a protocol part, but we'll have more generalized version of it on the protocol. So, and Rarible.com will use, but Rarible will not use WebSockets, but so currently it is working, but on the for the marketplace side, for Rarible.com marketplace, but it will be a generic version for the protocol.
Well, yeah, sounds great.
Okay, cool. So I guess we can open it up to projects if you guys have any questions.
Yep, I have a question. So when it comes to asset storage, is IPFS mandatory? You know, I see that you have an IPFS hash and you push us towards IPFS for the asset reference, but is that mandatory or is that just the suggested path? Can we use Rweave or should we use an IPFS to Rweave bridge? We'd like to use Rweave for the storage.
Yeah, okay. You don't have to use it to use IPFS, but our contracts have this base URL. So if you use our contracts, then you have to use IPFS. But you can deploy your own. You just have to change the parameter in the constructor. You can just send blank line there, and you can put any URL for the token. Or you can use it, for example, like many projects do. You can put it something like a template string for the token URI. So it can be like HTTPS blah 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 slash, and there is a placeholder ID, for example. Then this ID will be replaced with a hex string, and our indexer will go to this URL and fetch the data.
So I think I'm missing something. Like are you talking about the external URL field that I used for that, or is it the actual image field that tells you to put IPFS link in there? Can you be a little more explicit about which fields you're talking about?
I am talking about the metadata JSON. So correct me if I'm wrong, but you are talking about, you want to store this JSON metadata on your web server, right?
No, I want to store the image in Rweave.
You want to store image. But what about this JSON metadata? Do you want to store it on IPFS?
No, I don't want to store anything on IPFS. Ideally, I'd like to use just Rweave, a more permanent storage solution. We're big fans of it. So you're familiar with Rweave, right? Or is that, am I just making an assumption, bad assumption?
Maybe I can't understand. Could you write it in the chat? What?
Are we use IPFS
No, it does not.
even under the hood?
Even under the hood. Rweave is an entirely self-sustained protocol for from a web storage. So basically you push a file there, they guarantee that it will be there forever, you know, whatever that guarantee is worth. But
has something changed? Because like when they launched this, they were like said that they were creating an incentivization layer for storing IPFS content.
So they have a bridge, but it is wholly distinct from IPFS. So, you know, you can push content directly to Rweave, reference it directly in Rweave without the need for IPFS at all.
Okay, is there some kind of standard URI scheme for these types of content?
Yeah. So when you create a transaction in Rweave, they give you a hash, and you can just go to rweave.net/that hash, and that references that will automatically download the content. There are other ways as well that are less centralized, but that's kind of like the easy way to do it.
Okay, so if it can be done, then you just have to deploy your contracts and put a blank line for the base URI, for example, and you just need to put this URI for every minted token, and it should work. If it's just HTTP URL, then just put it there. If it's some kind of special scheme, then we will have to implement it in our indexer. I think it's a good way to do it, but I think it's better than centralized gateway. Yeah, where you're talking about centralized gateway for these types of data. Yeah, I think it's better not to put it right in the in your eyes, so we can try to do it on our part in our indexer. Also, I think it can be done in OpenSea. Maybe something is supported there already. Do you know?
I'm not sure. I mean, it sounds like, by the way you're talking, that it might be just the best way to go. To just use the IPFS to Arweave bridge, which basically, you know, Arweave acts as the server for the IPFS address. So sounds like that's the easier way to go and might make more sense in this case. But as you're talking, you kind of sparked a very fundamental question that I guess I was unfamiliar with, that we would need to deploy our own contracts, that we can't reuse contracts, standardized contracts. We have to actually deploy customized contracts. Is that right?
No, it is this. It will be the same, absolutely the same contract, but
Okay.
with a custom parameter sent to constructor.
Okay, gotcha.
So nothing too difficult. So
Okay.
just deploy a contract. And
Is this related to the template approach that you were talking about, or is this like a separate?
could you repeat the question, please?
I was kind of confused because I thought you mentioned like two different ways. Like one is to deploy a custom contract with different configs, and also you mentioned the option of using like some template. So like some like hash would be automatically replaced into like whichever endpoint.
Actually, no. This is there are not two cases, though.
Oh, it's the same thing. The template approach is the custom contract approach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
Speaking of IPFS, so are you guys running your own IPFS node for all the assets hosted on Rarible?
No, we don't run our nodes. We use Pinata for this.
Okay.
We have custom nodes there. So basically it's the same as we host this by ourselves, but they do it for us.
Okay. So I guess we can just assume that when we post something to Rarible Marketplace, it'll be there because you guys are using Pinata to at least pin it. Like there's at least one party that's pinning it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, there was a discussion about how to do it better. I don't know if you followed this question, but there was a I think about a month ago, there was an article. I don't remember where, but it was saying about that when you put a content on the website and put this link in the token, so basically the information about the ownership of the token and all the history, so it is in blockchain, but the metadata is not. And this way the data is vulnerable. And also in the article was a text about that we can use IPFS for this, but IPFS doesn't guarantee that the data will be there forever. So there is a vulnerability too. There was some discussion how to do it better, but nothing. I think nothing arises from this discussion currently. But yeah, there were some talking about this.
All right, cool. Last call for questions.
I actually have a lot of questions. I
Oh,
was just
okay, we got a lot of questions.
I missed it last week, so I have like a lot of piled up. So basically, so has the like launch schedule been delayed? I guess.
What was delayed?
Launch schedule, like it was like last time was like 3 weeks.
You mean that launch schedule for the move in Rarible to protocol?
Yeah, the whole thing like getting applied to the main website and stuff.
Yeah, I think yes. So yeah, it was moved a little bit. So currently we planned 3 phases for this. So first, I can tell you more about phases if you want, but currently we are finishing first phase, and after this, basically, I think you are interested in the first phase and maybe third. So after Rarible.com passes first phase, all orders will be on the protocol side. So there will be a liquidity, and if you create an order in the protocol, it will be reflected on the Rarible.com. So basically, it will be almost working protocol. They will exchange data between each other. They will see each other's orders. So if you put something on sale on the protocol, it will be on Rarible.com, but with an exception. Lazy NFTs will not be supported yet. It is phase 3, and I think that next week first phase can go live, but it's not 100%, because we are testing it now on Ropsten, and not everything works yet, but something is. So they exchange orders, they exchange data about transfers and so on, but not everything.
So when would be like the phase 3? Like when's the goal for phase 3 rollout?
I
No, it doesn't have to be like really quick. I just want to like get a sense of like because I have been working on some like a library, but then I kind of got stuck because I wasn't sure when the protocol would get like set in stone, and then I can like build, and then when I can release it.
Yeah, I get it. So I think we'll try to make it 2 weeks from now, but that's not 100%. So I'm not sure that it will be done in 2 weeks.
Okay.
We will try, but yeah, there is much work to do, and Rarible.com has other features to implement. So we'll try, but
But what about the protocol getting like set in stone? Like I'm kind of confused about like what like for example, I'm not sure like which like part of the code that I need to look at, because I'm not sure if they're gonna change in the future. So like some of the things that I'm curious about
Yeah.
is how does like when I do like lazy minting and post like sell order, buy order, like at which point gets decided like who makes how much money and so on? Like is that based on like some like which metadata? Is it like creators or like makers or like whatever, like those things? I'm not like completely clear like what's gonna happen.
yeah, okay. You're talking about some things. I will turn on the light. Yeah, wait a second. So do you want to know when? So I can say that exchange contract won't change much. So that logic that you are talking about, who gets what and so on, it won't change.
Okay.
Maybe it will change a bit, but not dramatically. So I can tell you how is it working and how will it work, and this won't change. I thought that you were talking about that APIs change and all this stuff, that something changes and you have to adjust your code to make it work. So are you talking about the rules for the exchange?
I guess it was two different questions, I guess. Like I was curious about both, I guess.
Yeah, okay. So if you want to know, so then I can answer both. So or maybe for the exchange rules, you can ask questions, maybe more
Okay.
specific questions. Yeah. What about the API and it's changing? Yes, but we will try to make the version that we have now. So it will have some changes. I think that before I think that it will be like final version 1 in 2 weeks. So we will adjust some controllers. For example, for this approach that I was telling before, that open API first, and possibly there will be some slight changes because we have to adjust for this. But today I reviewed our models, and it will not change dramatically. Maybe some metadata change, because not everything is possible on using open API. So not any model can be put there. But if in future we will use this, then I think it will be easier for everybody to use it and so on.
Yeah, and as for the like specific question about on the contract side,
Yeah.
So basically, like how does, maybe it's just me who doesn't understand, but I was curious. Like, there's like a creators array, like royalties. I understand royalties, but like there's creators, but also you create like a asset like sell order. So I wasn't sure like which part of the like data that you sign determines like who makes money on the first sale?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Let me tell you then. So basically, if you're talking every time, if you're talking about an exchange,
Mhm.
so when someone buys or sells NFT, it's about exchange contract. So exchange contract, it's easy. It has some kind of it has some entities, main entities. It's order and order is there are two main parts, maker and taker. And there is make asset and take assets. It means that order means that, for example, I am a maker and I have something and I want to exchange for something. So make part is what I have, take part is what other party has. So assets can be any asset on the Ethereum blockchain. Currently only Ethereum. Yeah, we're talking about Ethereum. So if you're talking about the who gets what and so on, so it's exchange contract. And basically it is written in the order. So for example, I have an NFT and you have 10 ETH. And I put that I want to change my precious NFT to your 10 ETH. You have to form the other. You have to reverse the order and say that you want to get NFT for 10 ETH. Then we sign this, and we give these two orders to an exchange. Exchange does this magic, checks the signatures, and moves the assets. So that's an easy part, I think. Yeah. So do you get how does it work?
I get it conceptually, but so does that mean like when you create an asset, I mean, like when you create an lazy mint an NFT, so that creators array doesn't really determine like it can be overridden?
Look, creators array is not used anywhere in exchange, so it doesn't mean anything for the exchange.
Okay.
It's just for the showing that there are some users that they co-created this NFT. So it's for forgot the word. So that's just for the
It's
user.
like an evidence. It doesn't. It's like an evidence. It doesn't automatically split the revenue between the creator.
Yeah. It doesn't automatically split the revenue.
Okay.
Only royalties somehow are used in an exchange.
Oh.
So if you go back to an exchange, when this order is executed, yeah, exchange can take into account some fees.
Yeah.
For example, it has protocol fee. It knows about protocol fee. It knows about front-end fee, or let me tell you how it's named in the. Wait a second. I can give you a link. Oh.
Okay.
So there is a protocol fee, there is origin fee, and royalties. So origin fee is a fee for example, you have some kind of front end which shows NFTs. So you can put your fee into the order, and when the order gets executed, you get this part of the fee. This fee can be multiple. So, for example, there can be some parties that are involved. I will post the link now, but there are only types of fees, but not, it is not telling how they are calculated and paid. But it's not very difficult, I think. So this exchange has these fees: protocol fee, origin fee, and royalties. So when 10 ETH are exchanged to NFT, so protocol fee is calculated, origin fee, and royalties, and they are paid to all these parties, and all other are paid to beneficiaries of the order. Beneficiaries can be just a maker of the node, or there can be an array of beneficiaries. So this way, I think I can describe it better. I will create an issue to put it better on this Rarible Transfer Manager MD. Okay.
So I guess like just to make sure I understand correctly. So like
Yeah.
let's say there's like two people who co-create an NFT, and then they lazy mint it, and then they sell it, but like they would make money. Like whoever like puts the sell order makes the money, but then after that it's up to those two people to split them like manually, right?
No.
Oh.
This information about who gets what, it can be put in the order. There is a field, but yeah, I get that this can be fetched from the NFT contract, so it can fetch who are the creators and for example, pay to one 50% and pay to other also 50%. But I think it was kind of difficult to implement. But on the this can be done, and this will be done on Rarible.com, and you can do it also. You just have to put this array of beneficiaries in the order when you create it. So as I see it, how it will be implemented on Rarible.com. When you create an item, you can add co-creators there. They all will get a notification about, hey, you're named as a co-creator. You just have to sign this message that you are a co-creator. They will sign it. When everybody signs this, the actual minter will get a notification that everyone signed, and he can mint it. After this, he can mint it and put it in on sale, and Rarible.com will use this data about creators and put this information in the order. So this way, these co-creators will get needed amount of money. Yeah, that's it, I think.
So the actual like allocation can happen off chain by the service operator.
No, actual allocation will be on chain.
Yeah, I mean, like it is on chain, but like for example, Rarible.com could look at the creators array and then make the allocation and then put it on chain, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you say the amounts? I was looking at the the fields here. It's just like an array for royalties. Like, how do you say like the quantities or how much of the division is?
Yeah, there's an array, but it's not an array of addresses. It's an array of structures. Structure is called part, and it has two fields, address and value. So value is a share, who gets what. So it's in basis points. So 100 means 1%.
Okay, cool. I think that I don't see where that's in the docs right now, so maybe someone can add that.
Yeah. Yes. Look, yeah, we will improve our docs, but the next part we will improve API reference, and then I think we will try to improve the whole documentation that it's on docs.rarible.com. So we will do it for sure, and yeah, but we'll try to make it better.
Oh wait, so is there a different place besides docs that has more current up-to-date information?
You can check. Wait a sec. I wrote small texts for every contracts here. So there is a folder, and there are MD files. They are telling how everything works, maybe some description about structures, and I think you can gather them much good information. Also, if you get Solidity, then you can check MD files, and maybe then you can check after Solidity files. They're not very difficult. I think they're pretty. Everyone is pretty easy to understand.
Okay.
I also had another question about I was asking like a couple of weeks ago, but basically the generate token ID
Yeah.
API, like currently the way that it works is that you send like a path parameter with the collection and the query parameter the minter address. But I was wondering because like it seems to like progress linearly, it just like generates for you, but like is there any plan to like support additional like ID attribute, for example? So like I could request like, is this ID available? And then if it's not, then you just like return like error or whatever. But if it is available, instead of like creating like a counter-based ID scheme, you can just return that as the generated token ID.
Yeah, I remember this question on Discord. There is a difficult implementation for this because transactions don't happen immediately, and we can't say for sure that you can safely use this token ID. So do you get what I'm saying? So for example, yeah.
Isn't it the same even if you just do generate token ID without like specifying ID? Because like I was assuming that it would be generated by your backend and not from like a, because before I mint it, it keeps returning the same ID.
No, currently it's just every time you try to generate it, increases the value.
Oh, really?
And it, yeah.
Okay.
I know it's not perfect in this case that something can be some IDs will not be used and will be forgotten, But I don't see this as a big problem for now, because there are many ideas available, and I think it will not be a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll think something out if it is.
Okay.
So I have a question. We want to create an app that talks to the Rarible protocol. Very simple app to mint NFTs on your phone that sends it to the Rarible marketplace. I wanted to ask if, is it necessary to create a whole SDK for that? For us, it looks like, we can use just the REST API calls, except for the minting. For the minting action, we need to run it in Node, but we don't think we have to make a whole SDK out it, only run it on Node for our own app. I mean, SDK is for so that other apps can use it as well. We think that's too much. Is that a wrong assumption by us?
Maybe I didn't get the question. Am I right that you will use JavaScript for do you want JavaScript SDK or not? What kind of JavaScript? What kind of SDK?
No, we want to make the app in iOS.
So Swift.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, I think that the best way, and you would like to use lazy minting, yeah? So you want to lazily mint an NFT.
That would be best.
Yeah, I think that it will be pretty easy to generate a client by using an open API. But I think that you will have to use custom generator for the main model, because open API generator doesn't support all the features that we use in our API. But we will write a custom generator for the main model, I think. So it's pretty easy, but you can write to me. I can tell you when it is ready. We would like to implement some kind of first version of it next week.
Yeah, the other thought we had was, sorry, I'm with Ari as well, was that we would just create an API that and run the minting in Node and transact through an API that we run. So it sounds like that would be kind of similar to what you guys would provide. Is that true? REST API, that is.
Have we lost him?
What?
Jenny?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just thinking.
The wheels are turning.
Yeah, maybe I didn't get. Sorry.
Yeah, we just want to be able to mint in iOS, and one tactic I believe is that we use your example code and run that on Node.
Yeah, I see.
And then just offer an API that is accessible through Node that we hit.
Yeah. I see.
But it sounds like that might be redundant with what you guys are doing, though. But I'm not sure. So if you guys are going to do something like that anyway, then we'd like to use the standard version.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think that it will be pretty usable for generating Swift code too. I think I will check if do you guys maybe already used Open API generator for Swift?
No, I've never
Someone-
used it.
Okay, so I will check now. So Open API Swift generator. Yeah, I think it. Yeah, it is there. So there is a variant, and I think it will. We will maybe publish these SDKs too, but maybe you can help us to do it. Yeah, if you if you have time and you can start, and maybe we can finish it together. Yeah.
Okay.
So let me then next week I will try to make these generators work for TypeScript and Kotlin, because we use Kotlin on our backend, and we will we'll make versions for TypeScript for end-to-end tests and for Kotlin for our internal usage. And I think you can generate the code based on this, and I think it will be much easier to do it.
Okay. Yeah, and you said that you think that's going to be available next week?
Yeah,
Open API?
yeah. I will post it in Discord. So I think it will be my major task for the next week. So other part of the team will be busy with moving Rarible to protocol and all the other stuff, but I will be busy with the documentation.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you, my man.
I have one question. I
Yeah.
also asked this on Discord like a while ago, but you know how there's a attributes object for the JSON metadata, and I couldn't really find like a standard. Like I saw like OpenSea and they have like an array, but it could also be an object. So I'm not sure if there's like because if you programmatically include these attributes, either array or object, I was wondering like how Rarible would render it on the like Rarible front end.
I think that there is an array in the standard, but yeah, you know, these standards are not very standard. Rarible.com will support both ways, but I think the preferred one is using array of attributes.
Okay.
All right, cool. Any more questions?
Oh, I have one more question. In the make order, there's a token and token ID. What's the difference between those two keys?
Yeah. So there's a field make in the order, and its structure, asset structure. Yeah. Actually, currently it's renamed from token to contract. So there is contract, contract and token ID.
That makes sense.
Yeah, contract is address of the contract, and token ID is an ID inside this contract.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the reasons that we renamed this to contract, so it is obvious that is a contract address.
Thanks.
All right, great. If there's no more questions, I think we can wrap up. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Evgeny, and
Thank you.
all the questions. Just keep on coming.
Thank you.
What?
See you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.